become their life and how they live it. When I see folks that perhaps have copious generational wealth, I see a whole different mindset, different ways of treating people. And I see it in my own children too. I feel like a lot of those values in a lot of ways begin to get lost when you don't have to work so hard.
This campaign to create awareness to generational wealth is brought to you by the Department of Neighborhood's Generational Wealth Initiative, the Washington Housing Finance Commission, and Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Hey, Seattle, tune in to Lidline Sports every Monday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m.
What up, yo? We are back. This is Pep, and the man that don't take no mess, Mr. O-P-I-S, Mr. Stevenson. What say you?
I hope you see the hat that I'm wearing right now. That's how mad I am.
I do. Man, you are angry.
I just want to make that be known.
Tune in to Lidline Sports every Monday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Lidline Sports.
Greetings. This is your host, DJ Neftali, Rainier Avenue Radio.world, the best DJ in the Seattle area. You can catch me every Monday at 8 p.m. on YouTube. Like I said, this is DJ Neftali, the best reggae in Seattle, Washington, the best radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Right?
A teacher who hurt their back and got prescribed opioids. A daughter trying to cope with a loss in the family. A friend silently struggling, thinking they'll be a burden if they ask for help. People with addiction come from all walks of life, and the truth is they stand a better chance at recovery with our support. Reaching out and sharing local resources can make all the difference. Don't count them out. More people recover with support. Find more ways to help at supportaddictionrecovery.com. That's supportaddictionrecovery.com.
Paul Pearson, host of Star Time, and this is my real voice. Honest, you're hearing it on Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Should have told her you were sorry.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining another episode of Real Estate Money. I'm one of your hosts, Tina Lombard.
Hi, and I'm Violeta Strash with Coldwell Banker Danforth.
Great. It's great to see everyone. Great. So anyways, we are enjoying another turn of the season. We're going into fall and then maybe into winter a couple months from now. But we're going to be talking to you today about condos and everything you need to know about condos. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So Violeta.
Yeah. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat. I wanted to just say that there are pros and cons to buying a condo, right, Tina? And one of them is affordability. You know, if you can't get a home at the median price of $500,000-$700,000, an affordable way to get a home is having a condo. So the other thing that the pros of having a condo is you're sharing the expenses with a number of other folks within the specific buildings, expenses meaning, if their roof needs to be replaced or the driveways need to be, so road maintenance, areas around a gate or a sign up front as you enter the complex, and that where the mailboxes are too, right? There's so many things that could be yours to take care of, but you don't have to do any of that. Maintenance of the exterior, because they have a thing called an HOA, Homeowners Association group, that manages these things, and you can report failures of systems, like if there's a water leak, for example, call the HOA and they'll take care of it. So they get all the contractors out that take care of plumbing issues or water or heating issues. And then a lot of these facilities, they also have pools and playgrounds, and those are maintained by the HOA as well.
Mm-hmm.
But the HOA comes with a cost, a monthly fee for homeowners. So, you could get your yard maintenance, for example, on a monthly fee of, say, $500 a month.
Mm-hmm.
You can get your yard work done, probably just the front. If you have a front and back situation, backyard, probably just the front where people can see what's going on in the front of the building. And then they'll take care of sometimes utilities. So you got to find out what is being covered by those HOA dues. And they save some of the funds aside for various things that come up during the day, the year, whatever it is. And there are times when there are special assessments, which means that maybe a whole roof needs to be replaced in a building or two, and everybody pays into that with these HOA fees that they charge every month. So while that's okay, you don't have to do a lot of the exterior maintenance or fixing up inside any system failures, like I had mentioned. The problem with HOA fees are they're increasing these days. Sometimes they double, more than double the initial cost, and that takes away from the amount that you're able to lend and or get a loan for. And Tina will go over all that stuff. But yeah, there are luxury items in condos, and you can get into a pool or a hot tub or a fitness center and have that all be taken care of. So you don't have to have an exercise room at your house, but it comes with a price. And I don't know what else we want to talk about all that. So the cons are, it is the HOA dues out of whack these days, so that you can't afford, to pay anywhere up to $1,000 a month sometimes for HOA dues on top of what you're paying for mortgage.
Yeah.
So it's a give and take. And does it keep its value? I don't know. Tina, what do you think?
Well, let's tell everybody what a condo is as opposed to a home. Yeah, so a house is basically a unit in which you live in, and it's individual. It's not a piece of property. And that's usually referred to as a single family residence, unless there are two houses connected, and that would be a duplex or a triplex. But there is a definition of a condo, and I believe I sent a link to you, Daniel, what a condominium is. But let me go ahead and read it. A condominium, or condo for short, is an ownership regime in which a building or a group of buildings is divided into multiple units that are either separately owned or owned in common with exclusive rights of occupation of individual owners. So basically, you've got a group of units together. Let's say there are 300 units, or it could be just 10 units or 3 units. And they all share a common roof, a common exterior, sometimes common grounds, common swimming pool, common entrances. So basically, a condo is a group of residences that are tied together. Okay, and so when Violeta is talking about HOAs, that sort of thing, let me tell you a little bit about that. I've got another link here, Danny, that you can show, and thank you for showing that one. But a condo usually has, let me see here. There we go. There's another link that you can share. But a condo has what's called homeowners association dues. So since, let's say 100 condos are in one unit, or there are 100 units in one condo. So there's a shared roof, there's shared master insurance that takes care of the whole property. So of course, individually, like you see here, individually, there are different things that an HOA would do. So an HOA is basically your portion of the insurance, your portion of the maintenance of the building, your portion of the parking, your portion of everything that has to do with the upkeep of the combined units. So let me see. I put down here, what are condo HOA fees? They are monthly payments required by most condominium communities. These fees cover a range of shared expenses, including building maintenance, amenities, utilities, insurance, and reserve funds for future repairs. Average condo HOAs in Seattle. Now, this is just Seattle, not Everett or Tacoma. But in Seattle, it's typically from $250 to $600 per month, but they may exceed $1,000 in luxury buildings that have extensive amenities like security, that sort of thing. Due to the building's age and size, the condo fees will go up and down. It will commiserate with the maintenance or the security for that particular building. So if you have more maintenance in a building, your HOA is going to be higher. Amenities offered will be like pools, fitness centers, 24-hour concierge services, rooftop decks, amongst other things. Number of units, so larger units with more units actually have the cost distributed throughout more people. So if you have five units in a condo, it's going to be a lot more than if you have 100 units in a condo. So condo dues can vary. Let's see, what do condo HOA fees cover? Like I said, exterior and common area maintenance, utilities like water, sewer, garbage, insurance, amenities like the pools, the gyms, and a reserve fund just in case there is a maintenance that is required on a building, and for a rainy day, the HOA has got to pull from funds to pay for something that needs to be fixed. So let me see. Let's go down to how to budget for condo HOA fees. So if you're planning to buy a condo in Seattle, it is important to factor in HOA fees in your overall housing budget. So for example, let's say you buy a $600,000 home, and let's say the payments are $6,000 a month, just for ease, $6,000 a month. Well, the condo association, their fees may be $600. So you would take your $600 a month plus $600 for the HOA fee. So your payment would be $6,600. Now, even though you don't make the HOA payments with your mortgage payment, when we qualify you for a loan, we do take into account that HOA fee. So a lot of times, if you qualify for a house, let's say at $1 million, then you qualify for a house for $1 million. But if you buy a condo for $1 million and that condo has a $1,200 HOA fee, then we're going to have to approve you for the condo payment plus the HOA fees. So a lot of times, Violeta, I get some people they qualify for $400,000 and they can't find a house, so they go straight to condo. So they buy a condo at $400,000 and they come to me and they say, "Hey Tina, I want to buy a condo." Well, that HOA fee is $500, and now the payments are conscrewed because now I have to add $500, which makes a condo approval only worth $320,000 for a condo because you've got that HOA fee, or a house of $400,000. So condos make sense when they make sense. I mean, if you're buying a high-rise in downtown Seattle at $1.9 million and your homeowner association is $2,000 a month, it may make sense. You're on the 32nd floor, some high-rise, you don't have building maintenance, you don't have a lawn and all that kind of stuff. So it makes sense. But if you are in like the $400,000 range and you want to go to a condo because you can't afford a house, that's not necessarily apples to oranges. It's not apples to apples. It's basically apples to oranges. So you have to be very cautious of that. In some areas, like you're buying the $1.9 million condo in Seattle or in Bellevue or Kirkland, most likely the value is going to go up. But there are some areas where the condo is purchased at $200,000 or $300,000. In my experience, when the condo dues go up and somebody wants to sell their condo, they cannot sell it because nobody's going to qualify. And so the value of the condo goes down. So if you're buying a condo at $700,000 and it's overlooking the water and it's in a great neighborhood and it's not too crazy as far as expenses are concerned, yeah, maybe it makes sense. But if you're approved for $400,000, you can't find a house, so you say, "I'm going to go to a condo," that's not necessarily the best caveat. It's not apples to apples. So a lot of times the condos values, because the HOAs always go up, well, they most likely will go up because the cost of insurance will go up, the cost of maintenance will go up, the cost of the amenities and staffing and minimum wage, everything goes up. So your HOA dues are not constant. So if you have an HOA due of like $200, it may go up to $250, it may go up to $280, it may go up to $500. And so there are a lot of places right now in Seattle, West Seattle, even here in Denver, where the condos that homeowners association dues, for whatever reason, the roof caved in, and now there's a special assessment. They're going to have to pay $900,000 for a roof, and you're going to pay for that. So your HOAs are going to go up. So if you're trying to be cost effective and you're trying to escape a higher mortgage payment, an HOA may all of a sudden kick you out of being able to afford that property. And in some cases, when you can't afford, if your HOA goes from $400 to $750 and you can't afford it, then you can't sell it because that condo is not selling at the value which you bought it. Then you're up a creek. So I encourage condos, but don't do it because you're trying to get a lower payment. Because in most cases, if that HOA goes up, then you're in high water and you're not going to be able to to move as fast as if you were in a home.
And
But now
just so you all,
Yeah.
just so you all know, it's not negotiable. These dues are not negotiable at
Yeah.
any time. They can
Yeah.
change at any moment too. And like with the high rises that Tina had shown, window washing for everybody could be happen all at one time, or getting say there's a rooftop garden, getting things taken care of up there, all that could be special assessments. And special assessments, you don't know. We could be purchasing a condo for you, and at that moment they're thinking, oh no, there's no special assessments coming up. And then all of a sudden, like Tina says, a roof caves in, and then you all have to pay into the cost of repairing that roof, and there's no backing out of it. You can't.
Right.
Yeah, they'll put a lien on your condo, correct, Tina? If you don't
Yes.
pay your dues.
Yeah, and maybe you can't afford it. So I've got here, Daniel. I just sent you another link here, and forgive all the typos, but I sent you another link, and I just want people to be very, very cautious, because sometimes you can find a real nice condo for $320,000 up in Everett or Mukilteo or something like that. The HOAs are $500 a month, and you're like, I don't care, because it's a good price. It's overlooking the water. That's great. But Daniel, can you pull up that that link that I just sent you? So basically, if you ask Google, do HOA fees go up? And this new link that I'm showing you here, it says it's not a matter if they go up, it's a matter of when they go up. Because they will go up. At some point, nobody knows how much they'll go up or what have you. So it says here, if you ever had a community, blah, 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 blah. But it says here, there's different reasons why HOA fees go up. Upkeep of maintenance in common areas, so that always increases with time. Community facilities and services, so the expenses in every situation is always going to go up, so your HOA fees are going to go up. Better property values. If your property values go up, your insurance is going to have to go up, maintenance is going to have to go up, so that's going to cause the HOAs to go up. If you keep going down, it says inflation and rising costs, maintenance and improvements, unexpected repairs, and this is the big one here. Reserve fund requirements. So unexpected repairs here in Colorado, there was several hailstorms in the last couple of years, and we were just deemed, parts of Colorado were just deemed a high hazard insurance area. So the insurance, everybody's insurance nearly doubled. And so what did that do to HOA fees here in Colorado? It went up. And so some people are like, I can't afford that extra $200 or $300 a month. I can't. And so they're trying to sell the apartments. You can get a condo here for $320. And the HOA is $650. That is ridiculous. And it's in nice areas of town. It's in the Denver Tech Center. It's in downtown Denver. Little parts of Aurora. But the thing is, you can buy the house for $180,000, but the condo is $550. If somebody can't afford a $200,000 home, they're not going to be able to afford a $150 condo with a $550 HOA.
No way.
So I tell people, save some more money up and try to go in outlying areas. So a lot of people are moving out of the inner city, and they're going to places such as Sumner, Enumclaw, Buckley. They're going past Marysville, Lacana. They're going outward, or they're going here. They're going to, where are they going here? They're going to east of I-70 or what have you. They're going Strasburg. They're going to different places where not a lot of people are buying, and they're finding creative ways. They're getting USDA loans. They're getting homes that were foreclosed upon, or HUD homes that are not necessarily on the MLS. So there's creative ways of finding other homes. Or if everybody says, look, I'm not doing it. I'm not buying these condos anymore. I'm not doing it. The prices will start coming down as sellers try to sell, and the prices are not attractive. So, prices will start coming down, and people will be able to afford these again with the HOAs. But I'm telling young people right now, if you're like, okay, well, I'm just going to go buy a condo. No, because the chance of you selling and getting equity in that home is not that good. And I'd rather you be getting an apartment, paying rent, and be able to break your rent than to be in a condo and you cannot sell it and you're underwater by $10,000 or $20,000. And now you got a foreclosure on your credit report. But if you're somebody, if you're talking about a high rise in Miami, that's different. Or high rise in downtown LA or downtown Seattle or downtown Tacoma, right there on the water, that's different. If people say, I want a condo because I just want to, I just want to have the neighborhood. I'm retired now. I want to do a condo. Yes. But if you're a young couple, you're like, well, I can't afford this. I need to do a condo. Please don't do that. Please do not do that. If that makes any sense. But so what we do, let me tell you the process of when we find a loan. If we do find a condo, the condo has got to be approved by FHA or by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So some condos, they're really good. They're paying their insurance. They're paying all the maintenance. Everybody's paying their HOAs on time. They've got like maybe 3 months of reserves in a savings account somewhere, and they're doing very well. And so when you have an FHA loan and you buy, you're trying to make an offer on an FHA condo, we have to see if the condo association is FHA approved. So there are some condos out there, and they've got anywhere from 20 to 50 condos for sale, and they actually have to get FHA approval in order to do an FHA loan. And the same thing with VA. That's very important. Now, some condos, they got good reserves, they got great homeowners management, and they have to be conventionally approved. So when I look at a condo, let's say the condo is not FHA approved, but it is conventionally approved. Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac says, yes, we can do this condo. Then what we do is we look for the red herring, we look for the condo certifications, we look for information on the homeowners association, and we actually look for their financials. So we ask the condo association for their financials, and we study that. We try to see if they maintain, if there's any legal litigations going on right now, if they have enough money to save them, if half the people don't pay the HOA. So we look at financial factors for the condo. So you can't just point at a condo and say, I want that, because your approval may not go to that. The best thing I tell clients, if you really want to do a condo, let's find condos from an FHA list. So FHA does have a condo list, and it will tell you every condo that is approved through FHA. And let's say that you do find a condo, you cannot live without it. You can have the homeowners association apply for FHA for you. And sometimes it takes 30 days, but a condo association can get it. And sometimes that FHA approval will last like 3 to 5 years, which is great. But let's say you find a condo and something happened, there was litigation, blah, blah, blah. So they lost their Fannie Mae approval, they lost their FHA approval, but now they're resolved and they remedied everything and now they're fine. And you want to get that condo, but it is not warrantable. So in other words, Fannie Mae hasn't approved it, FHA hasn't approved it, you can't get insurance on it, lenders won't lend on it. That's called a non-warrantable condo. Now, I can still do that. Most banks will not do it. They won't touch it because there's no recourse if the client should default. But you can get a non-warrantable condo loan. Now, those non-warrantable condo loans will not have 3% down. They will not have 5% down. They're going to have 15 to 25% down. Thank you, Daniel. You can take that off now, Daniel. Thank you. But they will not have, you're going to put 20 to 25% down, and there's not going to be a fight. If you want to buy a condo and for whatever reason it's non-warrantable, be expecting to put 20 to 25% down, and you're going to get a non-warrantable loan. But don't come and say, oh, no, I want to put 3% down, and how can you approve me for 3%, and now you want 25%? Well, because you're buying a building that is falling apart, it's under litigation, there's no reserves, nobody's maintained it. You want to do that, you put your 25% down. So basically that's it. But if you do find a condo, and sometimes condo associations, people bought the condos at $110,000 maybe 5 years ago here in Colorado, and now then they rented them all out. So they're getting positive rent, and now the seller's like, I want to sell them. And so half of the condo association are all tenants or renters. A lot of times FHA or Fannie Mae will say, no, we cannot have over 50% of the occupants renters, because that's a whole other type of a loan. So when you buy a condo, it's not just, hey, I want to buy a condo, let's look at this and that. There's a lot going into it because a lot can happen. Okay, but if you're looking at a $550,000 or $1 million loan, that's completely different. It's a different type of condo situation. Yes, but there are some positives. There are a lot of positives to buying a condo. I mean, I saw one over there down by the water in Tacoma. It was only $170,000, and I think it's worth like $1.1 million now. And that was back like 10 years ago when I was viewing it, and I was like, oh. And it looked at Mount Rainier, this side, and that side, it was the bay overlooking like Dash Point. So I mean, it was beautiful, and they were just putting it up. And I wish I had bought that condo, and I was like, oh, I don't know. But I was going to buy it as an investment property, and I had some VA buyers that actually bought
over
it.
in Ruston?
No, it was in the city, off of Pacific Avenue. It was in the city, right by the art museum. And it was they just built it, yeah. And so, I mean, there's some areas there where the condos are historic and they're just beautiful. They're just, if you can get your hands on one of those, absolutely, amen. Get that. It's the ones that I think that they're lower priced and the condos are like exorbitant. you need to stay clear of. But those condos, I should have bought that. Those are completely different. But you do want to get an approval letter for the financing. Plus, the condo has got to go through scrutiny, and it has to be. They have to fill out a condo questionnaire, and they send it to us, and we actually look at the financials, and we have to approve them. So we approve you and the property, then we approve the condo association. And then if everything's okay, great. If I came back, V, and I said this condo is not approvable, we have to switch to different financing and get more money down, or the client has to go somewhere else. They cannot fight with us. Because we're telling them, look, they haven't paid this plumber for the last 13 years, and he's suing for $500,000. You want to be part of that? So we tell them, hey, look, no, they owe $70,000 over here, and you're going to be part of that. It's going to be another $800 a month on your HOA. If you want to do that, fine, but we're not going to, we know you're going to default because you can't hardly qualify as it is. So we'll tell you, hey, it's not approvable. Please move on. So when you find a condo, don't just say, oh, look at the price. You've got to look at all different factors. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and one of the documents you like is the resale certificate, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They have to, by law, the condo association has to give that to you and present it to your lender to make sure they scrub it and make sure there's nothing going on there that's hidden. And if they don't want to release it to you, then something's coming up. Something is wrong. I had that happen to me.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, if I have to make 2 phone calls to get that red herring or to get that condo association management company, I'm telling the clients you need to move on because we're not going to get any help from them.
Right.
I was on the phone one time for 2 days, 3 weeks ago, on a client that kept saying, we want to have this property. It's it's FHA approved. We got to. 2 days I spent on that thing, and I was like, listen, if it's this hard, that means when you try to sell it, it's going to be hard too. You're never going to get value back. You might as well just dig a hole, put your money in it, burn it, step on it, because you're not going to get it back. So. So I think we have some announcements here. V, do you want to talk about that?
We almost out of time.
Yeah.
Okay. Big events coming up this week include the Tuesday evening, tonight's broadcast from the stage with King County Executive, the debate at 5 p.m. And it'll be followed by the Seattle Community Police Commission Town Hall at 6 p.m. And the regular season finale football broadcast will be number 4, Eastside Catholic, at number 8, Rainier Beach. So my favorite and Tina's favorite, those 2 schools are battling it out.
I'm a Viking, yeah. I'm a Viking.
Metro. And
yes.
Anyway, we got a lot of stuff going on, and I know we're coming up to the end of October. Halloween.
Yes.
Here.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to come back at you next week with some information on Philippine Historic Month. Here.
Yes. Filipino Heritage Month of October, and Cancer Awareness.
Yes, we'll be talking about that. So anyways, if you were caught dancing at Seafood City on video, we're probably going to show it next week.
Yeah. It was so late last Saturday night, was it? 11 to midnight?
Oh, yeah.
They were partying at that place. Oh, my gosh. Looked like a lot of fun, and I was already in my pajamas, so there was no catching me on the dance floor.
Shoot, I tell you what, if they do this again next year, I will be there. I'm going to find out in advance. I will fly down and be part of that party. Oh, yeah. And I guess they were doing it in California, too, at the Seafood Cities.
Oh.
So we got to party somewhere, V. We have got to.
I know. And with the introduction of Island Pacific here in Federal Way, it's a lot of Filipinos that I didn't know lived in this area, but they were coming from all over the place too.
They were. So, I went to the Colorado History Museum here last weekend, and it was the first time Colorado actually let us celebrate Filipino independence, Filipino heritage, and so it was beautiful. It was downtown Denver, and they had the dancers, they had the fashion shows, they had the music, and all the vendors, and it was absolutely. And they were partying too. They were partying and line dancing too. So I got video of that too.
Yeah, we got it going on, and check out Mr. Universe 2025, Miss Universe 2025.
Kurt, yes. And Miss Grand International is also Filipino, back to back, 2 years.
Yep.
So we're gonna show them next week too. So,
okay. All right. There you go.
See you next time. Thank you for joining.
Bye bye.